Hello, and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. My name is Ravi Shankar. I'm the Senior Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer and at Denodo, and we are partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT, CDO IQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews. And today I have the pleasure of talking to France Grenot. She is the Director of IT Data Enterprise for Customer and Commercial at Southwest Airlines. France, it's very nice to talk to you today.
Very nice to talk to you, Ravi. Very happy to be here and share a little bit about Southwest Airlines with the CDO magazine.
So one thing that I have heard during the pandemic is that from the analysts like Gartner and Forrester and so on, where the acceleration to the cloud really happened during the pandemic times because people wanted a quick change in the technology. Possibly they were hamstrung by the revenue impact, right? So the CEOs basically cut down the budget for many of the departments. Sometimes they even cut down the people and so on. So what was Southwest cloud journey? Was it there before even the pandemic happened? Did it accelerate during the pandemic? Can you give us some sense for it? And where you are right now? Are you a hybrid, multi-cloud? So give us some sense for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say our cloud strategy started before the pandemic. But we, as you said, maybe we did not accelerate, but we continued investing in our cloud journey. We saw that if we realize the benefits of the cloud, which can be maintainability, cost, etc., we would get stronger. In a better position on the technology side for the airlines. So definitively that's a point of investment we kept. Where are we? We are very well advanced, I would say. We are, if you take all the IT providers, again, the landscape of the technology for an airline is huge. If you take all the IT providers we are definitively multi-cloud. However, in-house, we balance AWS cloud with our own data center. And my wonderful peer, Jessica, is helping us with building a good AWS cloud platform, easier to use for my developers to put data, to move data and to retrieve data from it. So our strategy has always been move what makes sense first, right? So we also learned, and I would say that accelerated a lot during the pandemic. We learned that through experience, even though it was maybe easier to do some kind of lift and shift, it was better to recognize the benefits of the cloud to really develop in a more native cloud way. And that's what we are doing now. So that changed a little bit our perspective in that way. We want to realize the benefits fast.
Sure, of course. And the cloud provides that. So one of the things as you kind of now adopt these technologies like cloud and so on is the business impact, right? Like you talked about collaborating with your other business teams, your call centers and so on. Whenever you roll out new technologies, whether it's cloud or anything else, there is always a business disruption. So the question to you is is there a way to future-proof these technologies from such business disruptions? For example, we talk about data virtualization being an abstraction layer where the IT can go about making the changes that they want to whatever technologies like this event-driven architecture that you talked about. But the business users continue their process as is. So they are not impacted by the technology changes. So is there a more strategic way that you have in your modern data architecture to enable or minimize business disruption?
Yeah. That's a really good question. And I would say, Ravi, if you have a solution, we are always happy to hear, right? Because and I tell the teams all the time, partner with the business. We need to make it easy for them. We don't have a magical wand here. Absolutely not. So what I can say really is technology is moving so fast, especially on the data side, right? We were in big data in the 2000. We are still in big data, but I think we are in smart data now and recognizing the value of those data. So to do so, while we are collaborating with the business, we are trying to minimize their impact. So we are not able yet to take a no impact approach. I think maybe it's good for them too, right? Because they want new capabilities, they want more reliability, right? They want to make sure that data is up to date. They want timely data. We saw that with COVID, totally, right? During the pandemic, we needed data all the time. Where are we? Where are we? Where are our customers? Are they at their airport or not really? So all those things, so those capabilities, they need them. So at the end of the day, for us, minimizing that impact is what is important. I will take another example that happened like maybe 2 weeks ago. We wanted to move a big chunk of customer data to the cloud data warehouse. Today in our environment, it's not without disrupting the business a little bit. So we really collaborating with them, taking decisions together, we realized if we simply add an SQL connector to our cloud data warehouse, maybe actually it will be very minimum as an impact for them. So we are researching exactly the final answer, but I'm always saying minimizing the impact. Right now, it's really hard to take a no impact approach. But again, hopefully sometimes the impact comes with great things for them too, great new capabilities. So to better serve our business folks, and then for them to better serve our customers and our employees.
Sure. And as you asked, I have a solution proposal for you, and we can talk after this interview. Well, I should say that Southwest was a case study in my business school, in which when Southwest started the operations, it is called a case study on marketing myopia, where Southwest didn't see itself as an airline business. They saw like even the trains as a competition, and how they lowered the pricing point and they streamlined it with a single type of an aircraft. So it's easy to change pilots or parts, things like that. So it's a brilliant use case that I still remember even after 20 years. So we are kind of running out of time, but I want to bring home this particular interview. It has been a very interesting discussion. So what would you kind of characterize as, looking back at your experience, things that have worked and have not worked? What would you advise to the audience listening to this recording in terms of what is it that they should be watching out for, especially like in the enterprise architecture, and about making sure it's more agile, it's adaptable? You said technology is changing very fast. How can you embrace those changes very fast, yet serve the business community with minimal disruption as possible? So what would your advice be?
Yes, my advice, I think, would be take care of your customer and be aware of what they need, at the same time as implementing and being curious with new technologies. Don't dream too much, dream because that's the future, but at the same time, make sure that you bring along all your customers. I think that's especially as an enterprise architect, I would say.
That's very important aspect, right? You want them to be part of the process, so that way they sign up right at the beginning, and you over communicate, and so that way they are prepared for it, and any such changes happen, it is streamlined and to the extent that is minimal disruption, and they buy into the process, more importantly. Well, this has been a very interesting conversation. I think we can keep on going, but unfortunately, we need to bring it to an end. Well, it was very nice talking to you, Franz, and great insights. And thanks for sharing them with us.
Thank you, Ravi. Always a pleasure sharing about my awesome company, Southwest. So, and especially when it comes to data for the CDO magazine. So thank you very much, Ravi.
Sure. And for the audience out there, please visit the cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews. Thank you all.